Remember the days of Ethereum mining? The roar of GPU fans, the rising heat, and the constant hunt for the next block. It was the Wild West of crypto, a digital gold rush that created fortunes. But just like the gold rushes of old, that era is over. The merge has happened, and Ethereum has fundamentally changed. So, what does this mean for you? If you were a miner, or if you're just looking to get involved with Ethereum, where do you go from here? The game has shifted from proof of work to proof of stake. The question is no longer how do I mine ETH, but how do I stake it? And more importantly, is staking as profitable as mining was? Let's break it down. First, let's have a quick eulogy for mining. Mining involved using powerful computers, usually with multiple high-end graphics cards, to solve complex mathematical puzzles. The first miner to solve the puzzle got to add the next block to the blockchain, and was rewarded with newly created Ether and transaction fees. It was a competitive, energy-intensive process. The more computing power you had, the better your chances. But this also meant huge upfront costs for hardware, massive electricity bills, and the technical know-how to keep your rig running 24/7. For many, it became a full-time job. The potential rewards were high, but so were the barriers to entry and the ongoing expenses. Now, enter staking, the new reality of Ethereum. Instead of work, the network is now secured by stake. This means that instead of miners, we have validators. A validator is someone who locks up or stakes a certain amount of ETH to help secure the network. In return for their service proposing and validating new blocks, they earn rewards, also in ETH. The core idea is that those with a financial stake in the network are incentivized to act honestly. If they try to cheat, their staked ETH can be slashed, meaning they lose some or all of it. This is the fundamental difference. Proof of work uses computational power as the scarce resource, while proof of stake uses the cryptocurrency itself. So, how do staking rewards stack up against the old mining rewards? It's a different beast entirely. Mining rewards were lumpy. You could go days without finding a block and then hit a big payday. Staking rewards are much more consistent and predictable. The rewards are paid out regularly, almost like earning interest on a savings account. The annual percentage rate, or APR, for staking currently hovers around 3 to 5%. Now, that might sound low compared to the stories of miners striking it rich, but remember, we have to subtract the massive costs of mining. With staking, the operational costs are minimal. You're not paying for a warehouse full of power-hungry GPS or battling with soaring electricity prices. Your main cost is the opportunity cost of locking up your ETH. So, while the gross income from mining could be higher, the net profit from staking is often more stable and, for many, more attractive. It's less of a lottery and more of a steady investment. Now you might be thinking, okay, staking sounds good, but how do I actually do it? This is where we get into the nitty-gritty of validator node setup. To become a full validator on the Ethereum network, you need to stake exactly 32 ETH. That's a significant amount, currently tens of thousands of dollars, which is a major barrier for many. If you do have 32 ETH, you can set up your own validator node. Why would you go through all this trouble to run your own node? The biggest advantage is that you're in complete control. You hold your own keys, meaning your funds are non-custodial. You earn the full staking rewards directly from the protocol, with no middleman taking a cut. This is the most decentralized and trustless way to participate in Ethereum security. However, it also comes with significant responsibilities. If your node goes offline, you'll incur small penalties called inactivity leaks, which slowly drain your stake. And if you make a serious mistake or act maliciously, you risk being slashed and losing a large chunk of your 32 ETH. So, running your own node is for those who are technically competent and willing to take on the responsibility of maintaining a critical piece of network infrastructure. It's the sovereign path, but it's not for the faint of heart. But what if you don't have 32 ETH, or you're not comfortable with the technical side of running a node? Don't worry, you're not left out. This is where staking pools and liquid staking come in. Staking pools allow multiple people to pool their ETH together to reach the 32 ETH threshold. You deposit your ETH into a smart contract managed by the pool operator, who then runs the validator node on behalf of all the participants. The rewards are then distributed proportionally to everyone in the pool, minus a small fee for the operator's service. This is a great option because it lowers the barrier to entry significantly. You can start staking with just a small amount of ETH. The downside is that you are trusting the pool operator to run the node correctly and honestly. An even more popular evolution of this is liquid staking. Platforms like Lido or Rocket Pool have taken this a step further. When you stake your ETH with them, you receive a derivative token in return. For example, STETH for Lido. This token represents your staked ETH and the rewards it accrues. The magic of this is that the token is liquid. You can trade it, lend it, or use it in other DeFi applications, all while your original ETH is staked and earning rewards. This solves the major problem of your capital being locked up and illiquid. You get the benefits of staking rewards plus the flexibility to use your capital elsewhere. This has become the dominant way for most people to stake because it combines accessibility with capital efficiency. Of course, there are still risks. You are exposed to smart contract risk and the risk that the liquid staking token could depeg from the price of ETH. But for many, the convenience is well worth it. So let's put it all together. Mining was a high-risk, high-reward game with a high barrier to entry due to hardware and energy costs. It was for the technically savvy and well-capitalized. Staking, on the other hand, offers a more accessible and predictable way to earn yield on your ETH. The rewards are more like a steady interest payment than a lottery win. Your options range from the fully sovereign, but technically demanding path of running your own 32 ETH validator, to the accessible and convenient world of staking pools and liquid staking. The transition from mining to staking wasn't just a technical upgrade. It was a philosophical shift. It democratized participation in network security. You no longer need a warehouse of computers to contribute and earn. You just need to have a stake in the network itself. So, is staking better than mining? For the health and decentralization of the Ethereum network, absolutely. For the average person looking to get involved, it's a resounding yes. It's more energy efficient, more accessible, and provides a much more stable and predictable return. The wild gold rush days are over, and in their place is a more mature, sustainable system for long-term growth and participation. The question for you is no longer whether to mine, but how you want to stake. Will you take the sovereign path and run your own validator, or will you opt for the convenience of a liquid staking solution? The choice is yours. Thank you so much for watching. This is a huge topic, and we've only scratched the surface. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of crypto. And I want to hear from you. Are you staking your ETH? What method are you using? Let me know in the comments below. See you in the next one.